Hi, my name is Jenny Toms, and today my presentation will be about the truth behind code switching. So this presentation is based off Chapter 4, which is interpersonal communication and the self. A little bit about me is that I was born in Louisville, Kentucky, but I grew up in Fishers, Indiana, which is about half an hour outside of Indianapolis. I currently go to the University of Kentucky, and I was formerly a Miss Indiana Teen USA, and later in the presentation, you'll see why that's really relevant to what I'm going to talk about. So some important terms that I got from Chapter 4 would be reflected appraisal, and I'm going to go a little bit into my pageantry background because I think this is when reflected appraisal is very prevalent for me, and so it's the mirroring of others' judgments of you. And so I grew up competing in pageantry where the opinions and perceptions of you from 5, maybe 6 people decided your ranking in a competition or if you were best suited to do the job. So reflected appraisal was very prevalent in my childhood. And then with pageantry, there's also public versus private self. And we all have a version of our private and our public self that we show to others. But this can give you a sense of imposter syndrome when you're looking around at people that you're competing against and you feel like this is who they really are and you are just putting the best version of yourself out. So I think that did take me a while to kind of distinguish between the two, but it was really interesting to read about in the textbook. And impression management. This was really interesting to read about because there is a fine line between impression management and then honesty. Having both and figuring out how to do that, that's really important in pageantry because obviously it's frowned upon to lie about anything in your resume or embellish, but the pressure can be there because you were quite literally in competition with others. And so now we are at code switching, which is a strategy for Black people to successfully navigate interracial interactions and has large implications for their well-being, economic advancement, and even physical survival. And so for me personally, I experience it with how I speak, how I show expressions, whether that's facial expressions, body language, but it's just finding comfort in that multifaceted identity, in having different sides to your personality and showing off that side of yourself when you feel comfortable. And these are my references. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation.